Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MLG Anaheim. Trying to keep the games going here. We're actually quite ahead of schedule, so you're getting bonus matches on the stage. We're going to be having a Liquid Hero going up against Root Sage. Not exactly what I'd call a bonus match. It's like just a couple of random players you throw up there. This is actually going to be a fantastic PvP.
Absolutely amazing. Sage has already shown some great PvP in the bracket so far. I think he just took out Sase in the round before this, if I'm not mistaken. So he's looking very good, but of course, it's Hero, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hero's PvP is really, really solid. We received some great performances by him, of course, recently taking down Alicia 3-1 in WCS America. Be a great example there. And Sage doesn't mess around, but neither does Hero. Hero has exceptional control. PvP is one of those matches where the control matters the most, and he's not afraid to take some big risks either with proxy play.
Proxy play is always something you see every once in a while in PvP. Now, you know, the thing with Hero is Hero kind of has two tournaments. He has the ones he wins, and the ones where he kind of gets upset pretty early on. But so far, he's looked very convincing this tournament. I think this is one of the tournaments to go very far. And coming up against Sage, Sage is a guy who hasn't had the same amount of big stage experience as Hero.
No, he actually hasn't. And Hero was known for a while as being the guy who could crack under pressure. Lately, he hasn't shown that. That's simply not been a factor in his psychology. That scares me, because that was maybe the one thing that was holding him back.
It really was, and he's looked just spectacular as of late, but Sage has been kind of an up-and-comer. Yes, he doesn't have that big stage experience under his belt, but he has been around in the professional scene for quite a while, and as of late, he's looked very dominant in WCS America, and so far today, he's shown great games as well.
Yeah, I've got to say that this is probably Hero's first real test in this tournament. He's come up, of course, against Select. He got a bye through the first round. He took down Masson, and he also took down Minigun. Now he's going up against Sage, who is definitely not to be trifled with in PvP. And we're about ready to get started here.
That's right. Sage may be looking for some revenge. His teammate Minigun, another Root Protoss, was taken out by Hero, so Minigun kind of tapped into Root Ace player. Sage said, all right, it's your turn, you go and get him.
Yep.
We'll see if Sage can do any better. Hero is a guy who's, every single one of his matchups is very solid. I don't think he has a single weak matchup. Sage, I think, is mostly known for his Protoss versus Zerg in particular, but I think he's similar. He's not someone like Jedung here, like, oh, this matchup, he's a little bit weaker and he may have some trouble here.
He might. He very well might. I think, honestly, anyone that goes against Hero tends to have at least a little trouble. Akalon Waste coming away, folks, right about now. And here we are on Akalon Wastes with our first contestant in this matchup, best of 3 series here in the winners bracket. In the red trunks, hailing from South Korea, to the northwest position, playing Protoss, Liquid Hero. Versus his opponent to the southeast position of this map, looking to avenge his teammate. In the blue trunks, also playing Protoss, also from South Korea, it is Root Sage.
So, most recent PvP we saw was, of course, Huck versus Nanoa.
Yep.
A pretty aggressive and fast-paced PvP.
Yep.
Both Hero and Sage, I think we may see a little bit more of a laid-back one.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see either. I mean, Hero's, of course, a very aggressive player, but against someone like Sage, maybe, just maybe, it might go on for a little bit longer. I don't think they're going to be tearing each other's throats out by the 3-minute mark, I've got to say. And
they'll wait till the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just being a bit polite. 5 minutes, no rush. Only Stalker. Special rules. Fox only. Whatever the case, we will be seeing some great action from both of these guys. And of course, Root bringing, I believe, no less than 10 players to this event.
That's right, of course. Most of them have been knocked out to the lower bracket by now. Of course, some of them have put forth some great performances. Theognis just took out the Muslim in the lower bracket, 2-0, a great win for him. Kane has been going on pretty far as well. But I think Sage is the only one of their players still left in the winner bracket, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, he's one of their ace players along with Yu-Gi-Oh, who fell to Hyun in the winner bracket. He's still fighting out through that lower bracket. And I know Sage has, Cats and his guacamole cheer behind him as he's playing here.
Yeah, and that's all you really need, isn't it, when it comes to Pro StarCraft? What you also need, if you happen to be Sage, is a proxy pylon hidden away over here. What is going to be built? Generally speaking, this will be a Stargate, but there are other options. Let's see what Sage decides to go for here.
I think we're going to see a Stargate here. The second pylon was proxy. That means he's actually cutting a decent amount of probe production. He's already down, or he's even in probes, but he's going to start falling behind as he has to get those resources for that Stargate. Now, if Hero had scouted Sage, he'd walk around the base and realize, wait a minute, where's the second pylon? And then he'd start to guess there might be some funny business, and if he looked at the amount of chrono boost saved on a Nexus, it would pretty much give the build away. But Hero hasn't left his base yet.
No, and that's actually kind of surprising, honestly. Hero's the kind of guy who's very savvy in this matchup and is usually very good at dealing with all possible kind of proxy plays that come at him. So it is surprising to see him just hanging around his base there. The Stargate does go down, and the scouting probe moving off in something of a different direction here for Sage, trying not to reveal the fact that the probe was up in the top right-hand corner. Since it's a two-player map, there's no reason to be up there unless you're doing a little bit of shenanigans. Now, in the meantime, we've got Hero playing a little bit safer with the Twilight Council coming down here. He does have 6 probes in gas. We'll see what he decides to do with that. Here comes the Oracle.
What's going to be tricky is the fact that Sage doesn't have much to defend, and Hero's moving out already with a Zealot, a Stalker, and a Militia Core. Sage literally only has a Zealot and a Militia Core to defend, and being 2 units versus 3, the 3 units win pretty much every single time, and the fact there's only 2 units here for Sage might give away his build just a little bit.
Yeah, and he doesn't have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge yet. He needs 15 more energy, and he could potentially even lose the Militia Core before that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. No Focus Fire coming down there on that Stalker, and Gold of Pros being pulled off the line. This doesn't look as dire as it once did, honestly. Hero with great control, though, is able to eliminate that Zealot on the ground here, and is able to put the pressure on. We're going to see Photon Overcharge go down very, very shortly here, one would think. In the meantime, though, Sage is more concerned about this Oracle that comes in and hits 4 probes, 5 probes down already, forcing everything to be pulled down. The Photon Overcharge is in play as well, which is going to force this aggression away. So far, we're seeing 5 workers, 6 workers killed versus 4 as Sage is mercilessly chasing down this pack of probes. A huge amount of mining time lost here.
Oh man, a great harass for Sage. Yes, he took some losses, but not compared to the amount of damage that Oracle did.
No, absolutely not.
And you also took out Hero's Mothership Core with that Photon Overcharge defensively, so Hero's in a terrible position. I mean, he was trying to go for this Blink Stalker attack, but to make Blink Stalkers, you have to have economy.
Yeah, you do. And he doesn't have anything like that. He's got 1 Stalker on the map right now. He doesn't have the means to start to get that big army up. And Sage's actually throwing a Dark Shrine down behind this, knowing that he's going to be limited. I mean, what is he going to use to detect? He's focusing on the Blink Stalkers. He's not going to have an Observer, certainly not going to have an Oracle or a Forge. So a DT could really seal the deal here. Now, Sage is doing an amazing amount of work with only a single Oracle, not dedicating too much to it. It's a nice little transition.
And it also got that secondary scout, so he's able to tell exactly what Hero's doing. He saw that the probe count was pretty low. He saw there's only 2 probes on each cast, which means there's no crazy tech transition behind us for Hero. He's just trying to bounce his minerals on gas to crank out as many Stalkers as possible. And so Sage is thinking, well, I'll just get DTs, and DTs beat Blink Stalkers if they can't be seen, right?
Pretty much. And they beat most things if they can't be seen. And at this stage, the Hero's in a really bad way. I'm trying to think, what is the way out of this for Hero?
I mean, if he just kept with his probe production and he played defensively out of the Robo, he could, try to macro this out.
Like that one, for instance.
There you go. So, I mean, he may not die to DTs here, but Sage is expanding behind us, and he's got a nice worker lead as well. So if you combine the worker lead with an additional mineral line he can mine from, it's definitely looking good for Hero.
Yeah.
Hero does have Blink.
He does.
And, you can do some crazy micro with Blink if your opponent doesn't have Blink.
Yep, although he is now stuck in the position where there's a DT in his base and his Robo's only half done. So we will have to see miracles, really, from Hero not to take significant damage from this Dark Templar play. And what is he going to do? He puts down a force field that doesn't do anything. He's trying his best, but he can't see what is attacking him at this stage. And the Oracle's still in place. If those probes move away, they could be taken out by this Oracle. It's sitting right there. He's just going to see it. Sage could go right for those probes immediately here.
He's just focusing on a DT. DT's already got 6 kills. 5 of those are probes, and that's enough. I mean, Hero was already crippled. This DT may be the nail in the coffin. Hero now has that Observer out, so he can go hunt that Dark Templar down, but it's a smart Dark Templar. It's just running away.
Yeah, of course. I mean, why would you? It's got the kills it needs. Now it can leave. He's already got an immense lead. And he's not going to be saving that pylon with the DT, but, you know, he can go over there and kind of wave at the mothership core, see if he can distract it. But at least the Stargate has been shut down for the time being, so he knows there won't be anything popping out of there that's unwelcome. There is still an Oracle on almost full energy, though, sitting down by that natural. It's almost like Sage forgot about it, but it seems unlikely. If that natural gets saturated, it is going to be obliterated very quickly, but I have a feeling... Did he spot it? Yes, Hero now knows it's there. The Stalkers are now moving into position.
And with Blink, of course, they can run down that Oracle if it causes too much of a problem.
Yep.
I really like how Hero is expanding, because if you're behind an army strength, trying to go for one base attacks isn't going to work. Your opponent's going to have more units, you're not going to kill them. But if you can expand and delay the game longer and longer and longer, you can try to catch up in economy, and as the armies get big, there's room to have some cool tactical play, get you back in the game.
Well, as the Blink doesn't kill the Oracle, however, as the Oracle dips in just to see what it can do. Not a huge amount, but and the Oracle's already paid for itself, and even the threat of the Oracle being there is distracting Hero. It's like, Hero can't leave his base. If he does, his probe line just evaporates. So he has to get a good amount of Stalkers going up, and that gives Sage full map control, and gives him complete control of the game.
Sage has no intention of letting Hero kind of re-macro up and try to rebuild an army. He's moving across the map and saying, you know what? I have an expo, doesn't mean you can expo. That's not how this game works. This game works when I have two bases, you have one. So he's going for a big attack here. He's got a lot of gateways. His Blink is done as well. He's even morphing an Arc on his support this attack.
He brings the Oracle in as well, and with only a single Stalker to defend it, he's trying to draw more Stalkers back so that he can get up the ramp, but Hero's too smart for that. It's not. I don't think it's going to make a difference, though. With an Archon in place, force fields don't matter. 3 Immortals, great force field coming down right there from Sage. Photon Overcharge has been used, but he will be able to move out of range of that. The Archon can stop that force field down just like that, make his way in, and this is looking ridiculously dire. Not even Hero's Micro could save him against firepower of that magnitude. GG.
Sage looking convincing, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cats must have fed him some special guacamole before this match, because his play was just spectacular there. I mean, he actually minimized so much damage from when Hero pushed him with those early units. And I was surprised by the fact that Hero wasn't more prepared for that Oracle, because seeing only a Zealot and a Mothership Core at home, you know they're up to something.
Yeah, the question I suppose is what? And it is actually uncharacteristic, I think, for him not to look around. That's not the careful Hero that I've seen in previous PvPs. But every now and again you say, you know what, I don't think any of this guy, I'm pretty sure I know what this guy's going to do, and then he throws something else at you, and you end up mind gaming yourself more so than anything else. Sage is looking to avenge his fallen teammate. The question is, will he get the chance to do it in Game 2? It will be on Belgium Vestige. We'll take a quick break while Hero gathers his thoughts.